Donkey Kong Country is one of the most recognizable games ever released on the SNES, from the amazing soundtrack to the great level design. But what is it that makes it so special? Donkey Kong Country, developed by Rare, was originally released in 1994 on the SNES. It follows Donkey Kong and his nephew Diddy Kong as they travel through 40 different levels to collect their stolen bananas, which had been stolen by King K. Rool, the king of the Kremlings, who they take their bananas back from once he's defeated. The game was highly anticipated when it was first announced, and Nintendo would even end up spending over $16 million just on the advertising itself. This created even more anticipation and would cause Donkey Kong Country to be one of the fastest selling games in the world during the 90s. Due to the success of the original Donkey Kong Country, Rare would end up creating 2 sequels. Diddy Kong would end up being the main character of the second game due to fans of the first game loving him so much. His friend Dixie Kong would also be seen in the second game and would end up being the main character in Donkey Kong Country 3. Diddy's Kong Quest was released in 1995 and is a sequel to Donkey Kong Country. It follows Diddy and his friend Dixie as they travel through 52 different levels spanning over 8 different worlds to save Donkey Kong, who had been captured by King K. Rool. Diddy's Kong Quest would be regarded as one of the best platformers ever created, as well as it being the 6th best-selling game on the SNES. Dixie Kong's Double Trouble is the 3rd game in the main Donkey Kong Country trilogy. It was released in 1996 and follows Dixie Kong and her younger cousin Kiddy Kong as they attempt to save Donkey and Diddy Kong, who are both captured by King K. Rool. The game also takes place in the Northern Hemisphere. David Wise is the main composer for both Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2, with Evelyn Fisher being the main composer for Donkey Kong Country 3. They ended up creating some of the most recognizable music ever while keeping it within the restrictions of the SNES. Rare also created a CGI show of Donkey Kong Country. It ran from 1997 to 2000, but we won't be getting into this for obvious reasons. After that incident, Donkey Kong Country would end up having 2 more games added to the series, those being Donkey Kong Country Returns, released on the Wii, and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, released on the Wii U. Although they would not be made by Rare and instead Retro Studios, a Nintendo-owned company. Donkey Kong Country Returns, released in 2010, follows Donkey and Diddy Kong as they travel across DK Isles to reclaim their stolen bananas, which were stolen by new enemies, which are part of the Tiki Talk tribe. It would also end up being one of the best-selling games on the Wii. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, released on the Wii U, is the last Donkey Kong game to be released so far, besides ports on newer consoles. It follows Donkey Kong's family as they travel through 5 different islands to save their home DK Isles after it was frozen by the Snowmads, the newest enemy in the Donkey Kong series. What makes the original Donkey Kong Country games so special are the characters and story being paired with some of the best music and level design ever created, even with the restrictions of the SNES. I hope you all enjoyed and would consider subscribing to see what my next video will be. Thanks for watching.